Part 3, yes.
In the
The
comics,
best part
Nimue
ever.
is locked up in a castle, and there's no way to get to her because of her army that's surrounding it. So Baba Yaga transports him there after he gives her his eye, you know, because he's responsible for her missing eye. So it's kind of transactional again, and it's pretty funny in the comics because she asks him for his eye, and she's like, this is the only way that I'll transport you there. And he's like, all right. He just gives her it. It's just perfect Hellboy, you know? He's so nonchalant, crazy shit will happen around him, and he's just like, damn, that's crazy. All right, guess I have to take care of this now. You know what I mean? And I love that version of Hellboy. That's what makes him so fun and cool. In this movie, though, they just made him a massive red baby. In the comics, after she transports him there, he fights his way to her chamber, and then she transforms into a dragon. In the movie, Nimue heals her wound, and we get to see Alice and Jaguar Man fight in the forest.
Stay behind me.
Where else am I
I
gonna
saw
go?
only 2, but
Very
not
riveting
sure.
stuff. Ganaida then tells Hellboy where they
This
can
is
find Merlin
Hellboy
so they can save
2019.
Alice. So they go on this long
And there is
journey
also
and find
Hellboy
him.
the
He
Crooked
saves
Man.
Alice, and then he tells Hellboy who his mother and father are. Merlin presents Hellboy with
I
Excalibur,
see.
but upon grabbing the handle, he gets terrifying visions of the future, where he's kind of like leading the charge for the apocalypse, so he refuses the sword. In the comics, he does refuse the sword, but not because he gets this crazy vision, but because he rejects his destiny as the King of England. That's not what he wants. He doesn't want to be a king. He doesn't want to be the harbinger of the apocalypse. He doesn't want to rule hell. He just wants to exist. In the movie, Daimyo asks Hellboy,
Where's Gandalf?
he's referring to Merlin. Gotta love those random pop culture
Such a
references.
cheater.
Later, Gruagach shows up again,
He just
bigger
wants
this
to
time.
exist.
I guess Nimue returned him to his true power, which basically just means he's bigger now. In the comics, Nimue tells Gruagach to fuck off, basically, after she gets everything she wants out of him. And he feels like he made the wrong decision in reviving her. And then this dead god of storms basically confirms to him that he majorly fucked up. So he tries to kill himself, but he can't die. Hellboy even comes across his hanging body. Hellboy feels bad for Gruagach, so he empties a clip into Gruagach's body, but he still won't die. Gruagach is doomed to hang there, suffering eternally. The movie version is a lot more action-oriented, which is better for the big screen, I suppose. Hellboy is having some trouble against the boar, so Daimyo decides it's Jaguar time. So Jaguar Man and Hellboy fight off this giant boar that looks like CGI scrambled eggs. Hilariously, Nimue shows up and shrinks Gruagach until he's so small, he explodes? Alright. Nimue is desperate to work
Easy.
side by side with Hellboy so they can bring about the apocalypse together. So she shows the sword to him again, and she's like, are you sure? Excalibur's pretty cool, isn't it? And he's like, nah. So she brings Professor Brum out of nowhere and slits his throat in front of Hellboy. That's one way to get what you want. Except why the hell would he ever do what you ask him to do after doing this? But whatever. In the comic books, Hellboy does take up the sword very briefly. He then gives it to Alice because he doesn't want anything to do with it, and he believes he can take down
Guys,
Nimue
without
it.
tomorrow
In
I
the
have to
comics,
get up
whoever
in
wields
9.
the sword will be able to command the ancient
No,
dead
no,
of
no, in
England
8.
as their new king. In the movie, the sword lights a flame, and Hellboy's horns grow back, and this floating crown of flame appears.
Why
above
he grown